Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel where we talk about stuff. Over the last couple of years, and I'll even give you the time frame of 2018, 19, and the beginning of 2020, we all know what took place. There were a large number of institutions who began to announce that they were going to be getting into the cryptocurrency space. This was quite peculiar because a large number of them, at least from the year 2014 until the year 2017, had announced that cryptocurrencies were only for criminals or bad people or people who wanted to do or whatever money laundering, you name it. That was kind of the name of the game. However, after the cryptocurrency market rose dramatically in 2017, a large number of companies in 2018, 19, and the beginning of 2020 began to announce that they finally wanted to get into the cryptocurrency space. A large number of them kind of halted the beginning of their operations because of the event that took place at the beginning of 2020, and therefore they found it no longer necessary when everything else that was going on in the world. However, as it appears as if we are nearing the end of those crazy times, a large number of institutions and companies have begun to announce that they are officially getting into the cryptocurrency space. The world's second largest stock market on the planet, the Nasdaq, has officially announced that they will be getting into crypto by the end of the summer. That summer this year, or what they are calling Q2 and or quarter two. Is this surprising? Kind of, but not really. If you follow this channel or my other channel where I go over daily cryptocurrency news called The Modern Investor, a lot of these institutions have given us heavy hints over the last couple of years that not only are they into the cryptocurrency space, wink, but that they're also buying a huge amount of it and they're also mining cryptocurrencies as well. So the idea that other larger institutions such as the New York Stock Exchange, Fidelity, and BlackRock, these names are very rich, they're going to keep being in the news, that they are now all officially into the cryptocurrency space, especially if you look at JP Morgan Chase's affiliation with Ethereum. Look it up. Should come as no surprise that the Nasdaq is also trying to get into this space as well. There's a lot of money to be made, and one of the general ideas is that one of the main gatekeepers, if you will, right now for the cryptocurrency spaces tends to revolve around cryptocurrency exchanges. However, if you are the Nasdaq, the New York Stock Exchange, JP Morgan Chase, Fidelity, and or BlackRock, you want to make sure that you take a slice of that pie, because as of right now, it's mainly Coinbase, Binance, Kraken, and other exchange that are doing all of the transactions, and you want to, as Nasdaq, get in to be able to take your own slice of the cryptocurrency pie. According to Bloomberg, they are currently seeking regulatory approval, as is what's quite normal within the United States. You have to go through hoops and hurdles over the course of multiple years with the SEC, and they're also trying to work out something with the NYDFS, the New York Department of Financial Services, which is also a thing because I assume as they are based in New York, they are going to probably have to get a BIT license. Their announced goals thus far that we know are to offer Bitcoin and Ether custody. This is quite common. The idea is that you actually need multiple different clearing houses to be able to do this as a financial institution that is trying to get regulatory approval. So, in the cryptocurrency world, it makes sense that the blockchain essentially custodies our coins, or you can custody them yourself on your computer, or you can get a ledger. There's a link in the description below. However, when it comes to institutions, they have so many different safeguards that they want to be done and or put in place basically to stop what they call money laundering, that as in large institutions such as the Nasdaq, you have to have another company who basically steps in so that when the transactions pass through the Nasdaq, they have to go through another company who verifies that the transaction actually came from you, and then it finally goes to the other place. It's just extra gatekeepers, and they're trying to get around this or get around the cryptocurrency exchanges by activating and doing all of these things. And the main step is usually being able to say, we have regulatory approval to be able to custody cryptocurrencies legally. I know it sounds very convoluted, but that's the old financial system. There's a reason why the banks are collapsing. It's just not because of the stuff you heard in the news. It's also a lot more. They're also quite incompetent. Also, the idea of potentially offering staking for Ethereum. We are currently, at the time of me making this video, on the cusp of getting Ethereum staking rewards being able to be withdrawn from the Ethereum network. You can currently put your money into an Ether staking contract to eventually get your money out of it, and this is what a lot of people are waiting for. This is why we have heard from a number of institutions since the beginning of the year. Not much of the year has passed, even though the year is going quite fast so far. It's kind of a little weird. We're all announcing that they're going to be getting or allowing people to be allowing to do Ether staking on their platform. It's going to be a very big thing, and everybody wants to be a part of it, especially if you are a cryptocurrency exchange, wink, and or the NASDAQ, because you want to be able to take the fees from the people who are using that staking service on their platform. It's all about money and accumulation. I mean, is anyone honestly surprised? They're also talking about eventual transaction settlements for companies as well. This is another really weird thing. So I am I don't care for the term blockchain purist, but it's more of I'm a realist. You can already settle the transactions on the blockchain, really easily. I send you money, you send me money, it gets settled in the blockchain. There's nothing else that really has to go into it. However, as a company, as the NASDAQ, you want to be able to settle transactions for other companies. Remember that convoluted thing I told you? It goes from me, it goes to them, it goes to someone else, it goes to blah, blah, that entire line. You want to do the exact same thing for transaction settlements, wherein you have to have multiple clearing houses to be able to say that this transaction actually came from this area, went to this place, and also to be able to what they call reverse transactions. You cannot reverse transactions on the blockchain without network consensus. You would need more than 70% of people on the network to be able to reverse a transaction. However, if I send money and it goes through NASDAQ, it goes through a clearinghouse, and it goes through another company, if at any point I say, hey, I made a mistake, they actually are able to, as they hold the coins, send the transaction back, and that is the reversing the transaction for them. This is very important within the traditional financial world. There's a huge difference. I'll put it to you this way. If I'm sending you $45 worth of Ether and I'm like, hey bro, give it back. If you don't give it back, listen, we're not friends anymore, but it's also just $45. There's a difference if I'm sending $1.2 billion and I'm like, give the money back, and you're like, nah. So this is it mainly deals with like larger amounts of funds, which is the main priority for the point of this NASDAQ system. The senior vice president of the NASDAQ, their name is Ira Auenbach, stated, and I do quote, "The technology that underpins the digital asset ecosystem has the potential to transform markets over the long term. To deliver on that opportunity, our focus will be to provide institutional grade solutions that bring greater liquidity, integrity, and transparency to support evolution," end quote. It's always kind of the same exact thing. All companies say that they're here to help, they're here to make sure that you have a greater experience, but they understand what's going on. We've had a lot of price predictions for Bitcoin and for Ethereum over the last couple of years, and it is widely believed that during the next parabolic bull run, we will probably see a $200,000 and or $300,000 Bitcoin. And on top of that, people believe that during the next halving, so not 2024, but 2028, we could potentially then see a $1 million Bitcoin. And as an institution, that sounds amazing. Being able to buy something for $28,000 that could eventually go up to $1 million, that is an exponential amount of profit, especially as Bitcoin is being integrated into everything. Do not mistake everything that's happening around you, and especially with crypto, as something that is random and or haphazard. All the rich people own and or are buying tons of Bitcoin. If Bitcoin does become the next new financial cryptocurrency system, financial network that we all see growing around us constantly every single day. We just had news a couple of days ago. There are over 100,000 new people who are joining the Bitcoin network every single week. Over 100K. It's absolutely insane. Rich people are not going to miss out on this. This is why every single bank, every single institution, every stock exchange around the world, look at the European stock exchanges who are also going to be integrating cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin and Ethereum, and the Asian stock markets as well. And the news that Hong Kong is actively this year trying to become the world leader in cryptocurrency trading by offering and or regulating cryptocurrencies within their borders to get as many companies as they can. This is going to be big. It is not going to be small. It looks like it's going to take over the world, and the people who will benefit the most are the people who paid the most attention. I do hope sincerely that you've all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for liking, commenting, watching. Yeah, that works as well. And supporting, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.